Yeah, boy.
To me, and
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, great.
the first joke she makes is like, "I'm gonna lock us in, huh?" Like that's just how she welcomes
It's
us.
weird meeting her in her own house when we're already in it. Like,
Mhm.
like we welcomed
Like,
her in her own house.
Welcoming her, yes.
I will say one of the most beneficial things that happened, and again, I had never met her before. None of us had ever met her before. She owns this house. This is like what she does. Also, like for a living in terms of being like a medium and doing seances. And she said something that I've been trying to say to all of us at that point in time for the longest time.
What'd she say?
Which is when shit starts happening, just stay there and let the shit keep happening instead of like sprinting away.
Are you sure you're gonna come back in here by yourself?
Yes. Listen? Yeah.
And others believe the higher powered demons, such as Beelzebub, is hissing your way of trying to speak to us. We've heard hissing before, but we can actually hear
These noises before, and it makes me feel like we are probably right now communicating like with one of the evilest things we ever have.
It's getting that time. It's almost that time, you know?
My man! So I definitely don't want to be in the house in my room by myself.
So you'll be here?
Yeah, but can I make phone calls?
Yeah, I don't care. 244. Come get me at 315.
Come get you?
At 315.
By myself?
Dude, I gotta be in there half hour by myself. You can at least come get me. Come get me at 315 and bring that.
Can you just walk down at 3:15?
Come get me 315.
You kidding me? When we're at Biltmore and that telephone rings, I'm not just gonna be able to be like, oh, let me just pick that up. I jumped.
Well, that was
I
like
did.
four times later.
But I
you know.
jumped. Like it just gets you sometimes.
Yeah, but no, that's not what I'm saying. It's like we used to have this habit that was super frustrating. It's like every time something would happen, everyone would be like, okay, we gotta leave, we're done.
Yeah.
It's too scary, we gotta
No,
leave. I'm
you're
like,
right,
well
you're
then
right,
why are we here?
Yeah.
Like why are we here to just leave when someone gets scared? It's like that's the whole point.
That makes sense.
And then when this complete stranger comes in and tells us that, and this happens to be the very first night where we don't like turn off any equipment, where we don't leave, that we actually just sit there and just let it run its course. It ends up being one of the craziest nights we've ever had.
Come toward you, don't jump, don't run, talk.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Look at your face.
saying that, like, this is his common thing for us, and we need to actually be happy about it. I don't think there's a physical bone in my body that can't be happy about it. I'm so scared of anything like this.
Wrong
But in that moment, for the love of everything that is in the afterlife, stay in that moment and investigate what the heck is going on.
Look at this guy.
Look at your hand. Look at your hand shaking.
I'm like, come on, this is what I've been saying for so long.
It is good advice. It really
And it
is.
Yeah.
It is.
And it like 100%. We've adapted that ever since, and
Yeah.
it's
And
been
look what we've been getting since.
It's been wonderful, yeah. And it's like it's so great though. Like we ended up meeting her, and it led to all this, and this also ended up being like right at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah, we always
So it's
keep
gonna
it
be.
right.
That was probably within like 2 minutes.
Yeah, he
that was all in like
you
one.
to that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just kind of one big flowing piece. And then so one thing I want to point out is in this room, the REM pod's set up.
Yeah.
The REM pod never goes off. Never once goes off. It's not a malfunction. It never
No,
does.
Where do we have it at?
Yeah.
In that- in
You're
that
gonna
room?
see it in this. It's gonna be right at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always
So it's
keep
gonna
it
be
right
sitting-
on the stairs.
Right there. And then if you start putting together the pieces of what the Oculus is saying and the room we end up going into and the same room that had the door slam, it's pretty interesting how it all kind of ends up working out. Is it later, pillow, square, knife, American? Yes. And the room with the black mirror has a square bed in it.
So we're not sleeping in a square bed tonight.
Yeah.
And that's your REM pod. It's been there the whole time. It's right there at the top of the stairs. It's never gone off.
That's weird.
It never went off till we went down to that
Yeah,
one particular
that
room.
is
And it does have like a
weird.
square bed. Like most beds are rectangular. And it genuinely has like a weird, perfectly square bed. I don't know why.
Yeah, so we're not sleeping that one.
Yeah. Well, I think.
you can.
Yeah.
Kristen stopped the seance because she heard 3 growls. We used that portal device for like an hour. Never once heard a growl with it. But then we hear a real one.
Does a real growl sound like the one from the off? That's what he's saying.
I picked it up and got threat immediately. What?
Yeah.
Deja vu, I've just been in this place before. Higher on the street and I know it's where time to go.
Oh, similar.
And she said something that I've been trying to say to all of us at that point in time for the longest time.
What'd she say?
Which is, when shit starts happening, just stay there and let the shit keep happening instead of like sprinting away.
You can't.
Yes.
That's happening instead of like sprinting away.
You can't.
Yes.
That's
happening instead of like sprinting away.
Insert hash or select
Yes.
payment type.
That's
I picked it up and got threat immediately. What? Immediately got threat. I thought that was someone's stomach. Was that you? No. Are you talking about?
Insert cash or select payment type.
Are you talking about? No, I heard that. When Corbin said what? Yeah, was that you? No, I do that myself. No, you were. You heard that, right? No, it was like. Yeah, I heard that. Right?
That is so crazy.
I'm just gonna recap. That device, the same device that made the noise earlier, is
we weren't
off.
even using it.
I want to hear. I want to hear the. I want to hear the
All right.
growl again.
What?
Because
So
that sounds so similar.
That sounded just like the same growl, but then there wasn't no echo.
place with jokes. And that was like the whole like pouty face, like whenever you want to share information,
yeah, that's
hold
right.
it in.
Oh yeah.
So that whole place, like we were just joking around.
I want to go investigate it right now. I don't know if
That's
anybody
crazy
else.
to
I
me.
literally like. I'm low key wanting to go ghost hunt right now.
Coming up
And
soon.
next one's Queen Mary.
I think next one's Queen Mary. Depends on the order. It's either gonna be Queen Mary,